Ladies, welcome back to the Feminine Mystery. Today we're talking about why you must control your wealth. On this channel, we've been talking a little bit about why we don't want to go with a park and pray approach to wealth and wealth building, because we don't want to be passive about things. We don't want to sit and just hope that things work out. We don't want to sit and just wish for the best. We want to be in the driver's seat, in control, because the truth is that all of your dreams, especially as they intersect with money, whether that's traveling the world or owning your dream car, retiring early, whatever it is that you want to do, even if it's a selfless goal, like just being able to be a stay-at-home mother and to spend all day with your children, that is all within your control. And all that's required at the end of the day for you to do something is to want to do it and to know how to do it. So this is going to be a video where we bridge the gap and start to talk about the how. Now, in this video, we're going to talk all about finances, money, investing, and the things that you need to know to get started. So if that's something that interests you, then keep watching. First things first, ladies, the most important investment is your financial education. Now, when I say financial education, what does that mean? Does that mean that you have to go to school and get a degree? No, as I've discussed here, I am not a financial advisor. I haven't gone to school for that. I am very much a scientist. And that this is not, something that's meant to be giving financial advice. It's meant to give life advice for you to start to learn and start to do better and to take control of your situation. In the same way, for you to understand money doesn't require you to go back to school to get another degree, to be a major in accounting or a financial expert. It's not like that. Money isn't something that you have to outsource to some other person to deal with. It's for you to understand, for you to make decisions about, and for you to be in control of. And that is one of the biggest mindset shifts that really is required of you to start to build wealth. It's not something that's just going to happen by accident or, maybe if God really loves you. More than his other children for some reason, maybe you will just wake up with, millions in your accounts having done nothing at all. But for the most of us, we're going to have to work. That's just the way that things have been designed. We're intended to work and to earn the things that we receive, to earn our blessings in life. And that means to get started on your education. Now, when it comes to education, one of the best things you can do isn't, necessarily going back to school, is to just go and get some books and start to learn. And the thing is that money and our money system is a very evergreen kind of topic. So even with books that have been written back in the day, they're still good. One author I love is Susie Orman. I know that, people can give a lot of people a lot of flack because that's just the nature of the internet. Everybody loves to tear somebody else down and be like, oh, Dave Ramsey is this, Susie Orman is that. But really, the difference between Susie Orman and other people, I feel, is that she was a licensed and working financial advisor for everyday people for, years and years and years, all through the 90s. And that is what really, springboarded her career to being on CNBC, etc. So I really recommend checking out her books like Women in Money, just to get that basic understanding, starting to understand things like APY, APR, how much interest you're paying, what's going on when you go to buy a car and there's a certain amount of interest and a certain amount of car payments. How much are you really paying for that car over the MSRP? Do you understand the difference between accounts payable and accounts receivable? All of that very basic financial education can really be covered with Susie Orman's books. Another resource I really recommend that you check out, is starting to listen to general conversations about the economy. And one of the best ways I see that done is in the episodes of In the Know, by Kathy Wood. Her series on YouTube is fabulous because she does these, regular monthly reports of what's going on in the economy, and she interprets these leading indicators. So she starts to explain to you what they mean, and it's just a great way to start to get your feet wet in the field of finance without having to do anything or take any action. Your investment in your own education doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It can just be about investing the time to learn. So that's one way that you can get started, or two different resources that you can use to get started. I would recommend Women in Money by Susie Orman, and starting to go to YouTube and search In the Know with Kathy Wood, and just start regularly engaging with that educational content. Next, ladies, you want to make it a point to literally pay yourself first. Now, if you have ever followed any kind of, financial stuff, maybe on the internet, on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, anywhere on social, you've probably heard the phrase pay yourself first as this huge, talking point. And it actually comes from this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, surprise, surprise, it was not actually written back in the days of Babylon. It was not in some sort of like ancient religious text, but it is a lot of wisdom. And I definitely recommend that you give it a read. A lot of people deep in the financial community use that as like a text on religion. What it essentially means is that before you pay anyone else, once you receive money into your bank account from your paycheck, whatever you're doing currently, even if you are working fast food or as a cleaner or something like that, take some portion of money right at the beginning before you pay anyone else, before you pay for anything, set it aside and make that a payment to your own future. If you are in a phase where you are building up an emergency fund, this is the money that you contribute to your emergency fund. And if you're in a phase where you're building, if you're paying into a wealth account, that's what you would do with the money before you do anything else. And the reason that this is so important to literally do it first is because, especially as women, you might really have like a lot of fear around disappointing other people. It might be a lot easier for you to break a commitment to yourself than it is for you to break a commitment to other people. It might be really embarrassing for you to go to the grocery store and not have enough money to check out, at the end of the month. It might be really embarrassing for you to be behind in your rent. So you're going to work really hard to make sure that you make up the difference and you do whatever you need to do as the month goes on to make sure that you have everyone else's money. So when you pay yourself first, you just have the advantage of that psychologically. Additionally, when you pay yourself first, you are able to actually make a conscious decision about the amount that you want to be investing in your financial future. It keeps you on track with a budget faster than anything else, because you can earmark that money right at the beginning and say, this is how much is going into my wealth account. This is how much is going into my savings, without just, having the opposite psychology where you make it to the end of the month, you see what's left over. Of course, it's nothing, because it's never anything, and you just continue to go and go and go without saving, without investing in yourself, and without investing in your future. So you want to flip that psychology on its back. Of course, be responsible. Don't take more than you can, afford. Don't take everything and not have anything left over for yourself and your monthly living expenses, but definitely put the account and put the habit into practice. The next thing is to embrace market volatility while you're young. Ladies, there is, for those of you who love math, a direct, not just in a literal sense, but a mathematically direct relationship between risk and reward. The more risk you take, the more the reward. The less risk you take, the less reward. And that is the thing that really stands out about finances. When you're young, you really have to use your youth as an asset. Now, when it comes to the economy, things go up, things go down. It's kind of like riding a roller coaster. You never really know what the next turn is going to bring. You're just on the ride, up and down and up and down. But over time, it's kind of, all just headed in the same direction as a whole. Things tend to go up over time. But there are sudden crashes, like the 2008 recession, like what happened in 2020. There are all types of, malfunctions in the economy where you never know where you're going to get stuck and the ride is going to be not necessarily working the way that it should. And the thing is, when you are older, you have to manage those risks. If you are coming up on your retirement, for example, you can't afford to be caught in the middle of a storm when, guess what, you're 67, you need to retire. You're not going to live that much longer, frankly, So It's time for those funds that you've been saving all your life to do the work for you. That is not, the time that you want to be in a high risk investment. But when you are young, you have the time horizon to recover from nearly anything. If you had, for example, bought in at the high right before the 2008 crash, left your money alone, even though everything plummeted, and just waited over time instead of pulling it out of the market, you would have 4 times the amount of money today than you had back then. So that is the thing that I really want you to take away from understanding here. You want to make sure to use your youth as an advantage. If you're young, don't be so nervous about assuming risk when it comes to your money. You want to take those strategic risks. You want to use your youth to your advantage and know that whatever's going on in the market, you're going to have the opportunity to bounce back from that. Now, ladies, speaking of using things to your advantage, we all know the importance of looking our best every day. That said, I don't know about you, but every time I walk into Sephora, it's like, oh my gosh, why is everything so expensive? It takes a lot to look good. So if you're looking to save money and still get a great high quality product, shop my brand on Amazon. I have a blended hair oil for you that is ultra lightweight. Now, those of you who know, I talk about this all the time, but I am a scientist and I am so obsessed with the science that I use to formulate this product. I used fractionated coconut oil, so medium chain triglycerides that are smaller in terms of molecular size, and they penetrate deep into the hair follicle and the scalp to really give you that nutrition. I also use apricot kernel oil and golden jojoba oil all blended together with just a touch of liposomal coenzyme Q10. Basically, it's like giving your hair a vitamin. So if you'd like to check that out for a great price right now, check out the link in the description box below and you can shop my brand on Amazon. Now let's get back to the video. Now, ladies, finally, I want to talk about embracing the benefits of giving back to good causes. Now, for those of you who are professional manifestors, you're going to know what I'm talking about. This is a very high level manifestation technique. You want to blend your good with the good of all, with the good of all people, all life, all of the world. This is why when you see those people who are maybe like a little bit slimy, like, the Gates or, certain billionaires, they're always giving to foundations. It is not just because of the tax benefits, which you should definitely be taking advantage of. Okay, I am not a financial advisor, but 501c3 donations where you live, you should consult with a financial advisor to see if those things make you eligible for a certain amount of a refund on your taxes. It's an incentive to help keep charity and charitable causes going in the world. But that's not the only reason that these billionaires do it. They understand the balance of karma, and they understand that if they get richer, they're attaching that to the public good. So when Bill Gates makes a ton of money, more people get cured of malaria. And that is essentially what you want to make sure that you are doing when it comes to manifesting. Don't just think about what's in it for you. Think about the good causes that you can fund using your money, and start to make it a habit to give a certain percentage of your money each month to a charitable cause, because when you make more money goes to those causes. And that's how you take the good of yourself in one hand, you take the good of the world in the other hand, and you start to twirl and just make it like a beautiful ribbon together, and start to really fuse the two. I understand it's tempting to be like a very much a Puritan about like, oh, I just want to keep this, that, but trust me, this is a powerful manifestation technique. Now, ladies, that's it for me. If you've enjoyed this video, then check out the rest of my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!